Prophet said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تزول الجبال عن أماكنها. The end of time won't come until you see mountains removed from their places. When I was in Mecca, there's mountains have been removed from Mecca. Quwa'iquan, one of the mountains that's known as the Ahad al-Akhshabain. When the angels came to the Prophet ﷺ and they asked him if he wanted to see the mountains that they would يطبقهما على Quraysh. One of them was Abi Qubays and the other was Quwa'iquan. Quwa'iquan has been removed. It's gone. It's no longer there. The mountain is gone. A mountain that the Prophet ﷺ walked in its shade. A mountain that the Prophet ﷺ probably climbed as a boy. This mountain is now removed. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تزول الجبال عن أماكنها. These are signs for people to reflect. The Prophet I was on the Arabian Peninsula with my family, walking on the beach, and I came upon people in a public beach having sexual intercourse. In a public beach on the Arabian Peninsula. I'm not making this up. This is the level of fasad that is happening on our planet. The Prophet ﷺ said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى يتهارج الناس تهارج الحمير. That the end of time won't come until people are like animals openly. He said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that one of the signs of the end of time is civilized people would walk with their thighs exposed in the marketplaces. بادية الأفخاذ في الأسواق. People, pens, he said, would be everywhere. He said that people, out of their love of the world, you would get two-income families. That people would be two-income families. That he said a woman will out حرصا على الدنيا تعين زوجها على التجارة. Out of love for this world, she'll work like her husband to earn livelihood, neglecting the children. Some people are forced to do that. And there's no blame on that. But there's people that just out of love of dunya, they will abandon their children and go out. These are the things that are happening around us. He told us that towards the end of time, you will see the people, the ala, ri'asha, yatatawaluna fil bunyan. He said there will be poor people who were the desert people, and they were poor, and they were taking care of goats and animals, and then they'll begin to build huge buildings. These are signs before your very eyes. We're seeing signs of our Prophet ﷺ. He told us that you will see the buildings of Mecca reach the mountaintops. The buildings of Mecca will reach the mountaintops. And this is happening in our lifetime. When I first went to Mecca, there were no buildings even close to the tops of the mountains of Mecca. And now it's filled with buildings that are beginning to reach the mountaintops. I was on one of the tallest mountains in Mecca, and you can see the clock tower now surpasses the mountains. The Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith, he said, إِذَا رَأَيْتُمْ مَكَّةَ بُعِجَتْ كَظَائِمًا. If you see Mecca, if you see its mountains with holes pierced through them, this is what it means. بُعِجَتْ كَظَائِمًا وَيَتَسَاوَى بُنْيَانُهَا رُؤُوسَ جِبَالِهَا. And you see the buildings reach or in a riwayah ta'lu, they will actually surpass the mountaintops. And then he said, فَقَدْ أَظَلَّتَ السَّاعَةُ. It means that the sa'a has cast its shadow. Imam As-Suyuti says in this, هي عبارة عن دنو الساعة. It means that the hour is near, it's coming close. But if you took that literally, and in hadith tradition, in the usuli tradition, asrud kalam al-haqiqa, that if the Prophet says something, you should always interpret it literally, unless there's a reason to go to a metaphorical interpretation. Now we have the clock tower casting a shadow over the Kaaba. So the clock tower, what do they call it in Saudi Arabia? As-sa'a. لَقَدْ أَظَلَّتَ السَّاعَةُ. You could take it literally, the clock has cast its shadow over the Kaaba. Literally or metaphorically, اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر. The hour is drawing near. Ibn Mas'ud said, I said to the Prophet, هل للساعة من علم تعرف به does the hour have a knowledge that you can know it by? He said, Na'am, ya Ibn Mas'ud. And Muslims have to know these signs so they recognize them when they see them. And there are many signs. One of the signs, يَكُونَ الْوَلَدُ غَيْذًا. Children become filled with rage. وَأَنْ يَكُونَ الْمَطَرُ قَيْذًا. Rain becomes burning or acidic, acid rain. وَأَنْ تَفِيضَ الْأَشْرَارُ فَيْضًا. You'll see evil people spreading widely. يَا ابْنَ مَسْعُودٍ مِنْ عَلَامَ السَّاعَةِ وَأَشْرَاطِهَا أَنْ يُؤْتَمَنَ الْخَائِنِ وَأَنْ يُخَوَّنَ الْأَمِينَ. People will trust treacherous people, and they will consider trustworthy people treacherous. وَأَنْ يُصَدَّقَ الْكَاذِبُ وَأَنْ يُكَذِّبَ الصَّادِقُ. The truthful one will be called a liar, and the one telling a lie will be called truthful. These are signs. يا ابن مسعود إن من علام الساعة وأشراطها أن تواصل الأطباق وأن تقطع الأرحام. This to me is one of the clear prophetic miracles of the Prophet ﷺ. He said, تواصل الأطباق, that the dishes will be communicating continuously, and the Prophet used the very word that's used for satellite communications, muwasalat, and people will sever their family ties. In other words, people will stay home and watch television on satellite dish, and they won't go visit their neighbors. This is an amazing hadith to me. يا ابن مسعود من أعلام الساعة وأشراطها أن يسود كل قبيلة منافقوها. You will see hypocrites ruling. وكل سوق فجارها. And you will see the worst people controlling the marketplaces. يا ابن مسعود إن من أعلام الساعة وأشراطها أن تزخرف المحاريب وأن تخرب القلوب. You will have ornamented mosques, but the hearts would be ugly. So people praying in the mosque, they've done no tazkiyah, but the mosque is beautiful. يا ابن مسعود إن من علام الساعة وأشراطها أن يكون المؤمن في القبيلة أذل من النقب. The mu'min will be more humiliated than the ugly goat. Like nothing. يا ابن مسعود إن من علام الساعة وأشراطها أن يكتفي الرجال بالرجال وَالنِّسَاءُ بِالنِّسَاءِ. You will see homosexuality and lesbianism widespread. And he said, you will see مِرْكُ الصُّبْيَانِ, young people having massive wealth. Like Zuckerberg is a multi-billionaire before he was 30. And you will see مُؤَامَرَةُ النِّسَاءِ. You'll see movements to corrupt the women. يا ابن مسعود إن من أشراط الساعة وأعلامها أن يعمر خراب الدنيا ويخرب عمرانها or عمرانها. You will see the destruction of civilization. You will see the civilization of the destruction of the world. So خراب الدنيا, that will become the ta'mir. It's tadmir. يا ابن مسعود إن من علام الساعة وأشراطها أن تظهر المعازف. That musical instruments will be widespread. يعزف على رؤوسهم بالمعازف. Musical instruments will be on their heads. How did he know about that? That's what it says. I didn't make that up. It says they'll have ma'azif, على رؤوسهم ma'azif. On their heads are musical instruments. Who would have thought that? Who would have known what that meant at the time of our Prophet ﷺ? But now we see it, all these people everywhere. He said, Ashurat, you'll see many police. And also, al-ghammazun, al-lammazun, people mocking and making fun. Now look at all the TV shows where they just mock people. يا ابن مسعود إن من علام الساعة وأشراطها أن يكثر أولاد الزنا. You will see many children born out of wedlock. In my country now, over 50%. Amazing. تعرض الفتن على القلوب كالحصير. And the Prophet said that the fitan will be shown to the hearts like a mat. عودا عودا. It has two lines, a horizontal and vertical line. This is the TV set. This is the set. It's a hasir. It's a mat. And the Prophet said the fitan will be shown to the hearts like a mat. Kal hasir. And this is how Shaitan is destroying the hearts, by showing them the fitan on these films and on TV over and over again until people just become accustomed to violence. It's a normal thing. They're not shocked by it anymore. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صنفان من أهل النار لم أرهما قوم معهم سياط كأذناب البقر. You will see people with whips like cow tails. يَضْرِبُونَ بِهَا النَّاسِ, they'll hit people with it. وَنِسَاءٌ كَاسِيَاتٌ عَارِيَاتٌ, women that were clothed and naked at the same time. مَائِلَات, they'll sway in their walk. مُمِيلَات, and cause others to incline towards them. رُؤُوسُهُنَّ كَأَسْنِمَةِ الْبُخْتِ. Ya Allah, Sadaqa Rasulullah. He said their hair would be like the Bactrian camel's hair. This is not a camel the Arabs had. They came from Persia, so they saw them. They knew what they were. These people will not enter paradise. Will I say Sadaqa Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? He said people will drink intoxicants from my ummah and call it by other names. Right? They'll have lots of names for it. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Allahumma ballagh. Allahumma ballagh. Allahumma ballagh.